Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. And listen, if you didn't catch last night's Fever vs Aces showdown, just know this. You miss a full-on circus in the desert. We're breaking down everything. The drama, the wild tactics, the breakdowns, and why the whole league might need to start sleeping with one eye open after what Indiana just pulled off. So strap in, hit that like button, and let's dive into the chaos. Before tip-off, Becky Hammon came out saying the real Las Vegas Aces were showing up tonight. She was talking big, telling everybody to expect a whole different animal. The message was clear. We're the hunted. Come get us. Well, if that was the real Aces, then the league should be worried because that team looked panicked. I'm talking desperation moves, bodies fly like it was a WWE main event, flops that would make soccer players jealous, and elbows being thrown like party favors. And here's the kicker. After all that chaos, they still couldn't get it done. If you came for basketball, you got a little of that. But if you came for pure mayhem, you got a full buffet. Kelsey Mitchell came out looking possessed. She didn't just show up to hoop. She showed up to embarrass everyone in a Vegas jersey. Want the numbers? 34 points in 34 minutes. That's 1 bucket per minute. Flat out insane. With MVPs all over the floor and 2 championship coaches on the sidelines. Kelsey made it look like she was hooping in an empty gym. She was pulling up from deep, gliding through double teams, finishing at the rim, and hitting fadeaways. Vegas had zero answers. At one point, the crowd seemed to be begging somebody, anybody, to slow her down. Nope. Kelsey was on a mission, and she completed it. All season, people kept asking, are the Fever for real, or is this just hype? Last night answered that. Indiana walked into Vegas like they owned the place and ripped the champ's heart out. The defending Aces suddenly looked vulnerable. The swagger was gone, fear showed on their faces, and by the end, the crowd was silent. Straight up, the aura around Vegas is fading. For months, every team seemed scared to face them. But now, after Indiana exposed their weaknesses, the conversation has changed. The new headline? The Fever are the boogeyman. Shout out to Jenny on Twitter and Tatter Saints on TikTok, because the clips told the whole story. Lexie Hull was taking elbows and getting blindsided by screens that should have been flagged. The Aces were setting illegal picks like it was a tutorial video. Aya Wilson got caught flopping twice, arms flailing for the refs. It was comedy. Instead of trusting their talent, Vegas leaned on sketchy tactics, and the game turned messy. But Indiana wasn't fazed. The Fever stayed locked in, took every hit, and never lost focus. The Aces' dominance is no longer guaranteed. Teams are realizing that if you stand up to Vegas and force them to play clean, physical basketball, they crack under pressure. The blueprint is out there now. Don't let the mind games or flops rattle you. Stay aggressive, keep attacking, and let the shooters eat. For Indiana, this was their arrival moment. They're no longer just young and promising. They've officially arrived, and every team has to take them seriously. Kelsey Mitchell proved she can share the floor with MVPs and still look like the best scorer in the gym. Say what you want about Indiana's roster, but they just sent a message to the entire league. The Aces, they got work to do. That locked-in look fizzle fast. Aya Wilson and her crew got taken out of their game completely. If Vegas doesn't rethink their attitude and clean up the dirty plays, they're not repeating, plain and simple. But the real story here is the Indiana Fever. They just put the league on notice. If teams weren't scared before, they should be now. Say hello to the new heavyweight on the block. The boogeyman is real, and its name is Indiana Fever. Now, let's look at how Vegas was playing. Lexie Hull was being pushed around all game. She caught elbows, got shoved, and was leveled by illegal screens. At one point, she's clearly pushed down. No call. Another possession. Kelsey Mitchell was shoved straight into Aya Wilson. That's not basketball. That's bull. And yet, the refs let most of it slide. From the very first foul call, it was nonsense. But karma showed up, ball don't lie. Missed free throws, missed layups, and more. Aya Wilson tried to flop her way to calls all night, arms flying, falling over, begging the refs. Meanwhile, when Aaliyah Boston swung through contact and scored, she didn't get the same whistle. That double standard was obvious. And don't get me started on the review. Call against Kelsey Mitchell. They gave her a technical and a foul on the same play. Really? Meanwhile, Michaela Timpson got hit with another weak foul, and Becky Hammond is losing her mind on the sidelines because her team was getting cooked. Vegas was setting moving screens left and right, sticking out legs, throwing elbows, and still couldn't stop Indiana. Aaliyah Boston deserves major credit for her defense. She stood tall and kept grinding, even while the refs bailed Vegas out over and over. And that jump ball call? Straight garbage. Nobody had possession. That was an over-the-back foul. Plain as day. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, Aya Wilson. Everybody wants to focus on Caitlin Clark missing a half-court three with defenders crashing into her legs. But no one wants to talk about Aya going 6 for 22 in a playoff game. Missing layup after layup, looking lost. If Caitlin had shot like that, the haters would be loud for weeks. Shout out to Latter-day Saints on TikTok. He's been breaking this down perfectly. Caitlin Clark called it out. The flopping is embarrassing. And she's right. Everyone watching that game saw it. Flopping everywhere. It was ugly. This isn't basketball anymore. It's a flop fest. And the problem is, the refs are letting it slide. They're allowing grabbing, shoving, elbows, and then rewarding players for throwing themselves on the floor. It's out of control. How is that fair to the teams playing real basketball? To the players putting in work, grinding for every bucket, just to face nonsense like this? Until the refs step up and call it straight, this problem isn't going away. Now let's talk about Aya Wilson real quick. The 4-time MVP. Yeah, that 4-time MVP. And what did we see from her? Missed layups like it was a casual pickup game. How do you win MVP 4 times and show up like that? What league are we even watching? It was just bad across the board. And look, I'm not trying to take away from Aya's talent. She's obviously skilled. But sometimes the performance just doesn't match the accolades. Watching her struggle with shots she should be making was tough. And big picture? How does it impact the game when the league's best can't flip the switch on the biggest stage? Stuff like this makes you wonder if the refs even care about fairness anymore, or the league's just putting on a show. If the dirty plays keep getting ignored, if the flopping keeps escalating, where does the game go from here? Something's got to change. The refs need to start holding players accountable. The league has to protect real basketball, not let it turn into a circus. Because if this continues, fans are going to tune out, and the players who actually want to compete are going to get frustrated. Caitlin saw it. We all saw it. The question now is, how long before the league finally does something? But real talk, I want to hear what you think. Did you see the same dirty playing I did? Because no cap, it wasn't even close to clean basketball. The grabbing, the elbows, the flopping, it was messy from start to finish. Now, let's bring it back to Indy. The Fever showed up ready to fight, ready to take no nonsense. And you gotta respect that energy. They stood their ground, played smart, and didn't get rattled. Meanwhile, Vegas pulled every dirty trick in the book. So what's your take? Are you tired of the cheap tactics? Should the league step in and crack down? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from the real ones watching. At the end of the day, it's right here in front of us. The Las Vegas Aces aren't the unstoppable juggernaut people make them out to be. They've got holes. They've got weaknesses. And if Indiana plays their game, stays aggressive, and stays disciplined, it's 2-0, simple as that. Stephanie White, you've got to have the adjustments ready. Aaliyah Boston, it's beast mode time. Kelsey Mitchell, just keep cooking like you do. And the rest of the squad, if even 2 more players step up, that's the formula. Vegas is leaning too heavily on Aya Wilson. You wear her down, make her work every possession, and this team will fold. I'm telling you, this is our moment. So let's lock in, stay hungry, and go into Indiana, ready to sweep the so-called champs right out of these playoffs. Let's go Fever. This is our time. Alright guys, until next time, keep those bells on, stay loud, stay proud, and I'll catch you on the next one.